Nice. Okay, good morning. I did this thing yesterday where I was on the wrong Wi-Fi network. I had the wrong pages brought up. It was a mess. I am grateful to be here, ready to go. I did this thing right at the beginning where I was like, okay, can I get all my ducks in a line? And all my ducks are in a line. Okay, I'm feeling good. Okay, let's do it. All right, and then I went live, right? Yesterday I was not prepared in the slightest bit. But I am prepared today. So, Out Under the Stars is the title of today's episode. And the reason I say that is because we had a busy day, very busy day yesterday. And then we took the dog out back just to kind of, get him ready for bed and relieve himself and all that. And my youngest daughter and I were out there. And we did this thing that I highly recommend if you have access to a backyard or just a quiet place in general, is we just sat out on the trampoline, and it was kind of twilight, the stars hadn't started coming out, and we sort of just laid on our backs and watched the sky, and we listened to the sounds of the city, we listened to the sounds of the nature around us, and it was very, very relieving and calming, and it was just so nice. We may, in fact, do it again tonight because it was so nice, and we may just invite everybody else to just lay on the trampoline and just kind of observe the night sky around us. It was great. It was awesome. We just kind of let it all soak in, It was awesome. So much so that we might even sleep out there tonight. We may pitch the tent and then just sleep under the stars tonight. So I would likely sleep under the stars, so other people in the family might want to cozy up into the tent, but I will definitely want to sleep under the stars. I think that sounds wonderful. It was so peaceful to just sort of lay there and talk and catch up, and when two people get really busy doing different things, it's like, oh, we missed a lot. You've been doing a lot, I've been doing a lot. Even if we've been doing all the same things, it's like, oh my gosh, let's decompress from that. It's so much going on. Well, you can hear it in my voice. I just woke up. It's pretty early in the morning. I thought it would be advantageous to wake up my brain by playing all the puzzles. So let's do it. You can see our list there, connections, and then mini crossword, and then pips. Love pips. That's a great new one. I love it. Wordle, and then strands, and then letterboxed. And I just have to say one more time, thank you to Tyson Price, good online friend that gifted me a subscription. I was so bummed a couple days ago when I could no longer access the mini crossword or the letterboxed, and Tiles got put behind a paywall as well. I don't play that one, and I was so bummed about it that he turned around and gave me a year-long gift subscription to it. I was just floored by that gesture. So really cool, really, really cool. Okay, so let's dive in first, and we will play connections. Drum, bass or bass, fish, cards, fiddle, roast, does, flame, chop, axes, blast, dice, coordinate, pieces, board, and bash. Okay, so I could be wrong here, but the first thing that came to mind was cards, dice, pieces, and maybe board. These are things that you use with to play games. Oh, it is. Great. Common components of board games. Great. Well, I saw drum and fiddle. To roast, I guess, with a flame, or flame is a verb technically. To blast. Oh, and to bash. Maybe this is like to razz on someone. Criticize harshly. There we go. All right. Coordinate. Chop. Chop. To chop. Or chop up. Axes. Sounds like axis. Axes. Oh, wait. Axis. The plural of axis is axes, right? Isn't that how you spell it? That also looks like axes, like multiple chopping devices. Chop, axes. Fiddle. Don't fiddle with it. Drum. Coordinate or coordinate. Is that what we're going for? Because axis, like axes or axes, bass or bass, coordinate or coordinate, fiddle, fish, fish, chop, does, maybe does. These aren't pronounced like they look, right? It is. Heteronyms. Okay. But okay, I'll look it up later. I don't know another word for does. I know heteronyms. Okay, and then chop, fiddle, fish, and drum. Oh, cute. Sticks. Chopsticks, fish sticks, drumsticks, fiddlesticks. Ah, fiddlesticks. That's a good one. Common components of a board games. That was the green category. Board, cards, dice, pieces. To criticize harshly was the yellow category. To bash, to blast, flame, and roast. And heteronyms. Let me pull up the exact definition of heteronym. Heteronym, each of two or more words that are spelled identically but have different sounds. Okay, but okay, wait. Does, this is the third person singular present tense form of to do. Does, he does. But then, oh, does, the plural of the form doe, which refers to an adult female deer. Oh, duh. Does, multiple female deer are does. That's right. Oh my gosh, that's funny. So that is a heteronym. I couldn't make sense of how that was a heteronym, and that now it makes a lot more sense. And then very cute, the fill in the blank for the purple category was chopsticks, drumsticks, fiddlesticks, and fish sticks. I love that. I probably should have seen the drumsticks one earlier than I did. I am a drummer. I've been a drummer since I was 15 years old. All right. The mini crossword, hidden behind a paywall, sadly. Hamilton was nominated for 16 of them in 2016. Are these Emmys? Could be Emmys. Vegetable, you might wear cooking goggles to cut. Oh, yeah. Onion. Or as Tyson said a few days ago, union. Let's see. Lizard that can detach its own tail. Oh boy. Is that a gecko? Maybe. Might be wrong. Slightly off as a picture frame. Askew. And then cunning sounds like sly. Okay, we're close. We're close. Let's see if we can... I wonder which one's wrong. Rap on filming 300. 300? 300 what? I don't know. Tip jar bills. Oh, this one is wrong. Okay, hold on. Okay, I know what this one is. Hamilton was nominated for Tonys. That's what it was. Not Emmys, Tonys. Emmys is for daytime television. Oh, my goodness. All right, let's go through them because a lot of these we didn't even see. The down clues we didn't even get to. Hamilton was nominated for 16 of them in 2016. Tony Awards. Who's Tony? Vegetable you might wear cooking goggles to cut. Onion. Lizard that can detach its own tail. Gecko. I've heard different things, like you can wash a... you cut the onion in half and then wash it, but it still makes me cry every time, so who knows. Maybe I do need goggles. Lizard that can detach its own tail is a gecko, and it can save you hundreds on car insurance. Slightly off as a picture frame. Askew. Cunning. Sly. Rap on filming 300. Toga. Oh my gosh. 300 the movie. It is a rap. I was thinking, like, that's a rap. Coming from the video production directing mindset that I have. Toga. Tip jar bills. Ones. Tiny shaving cuts. Nicks. Oh, I hate nicking myself when I'm shaving. Feels terrible. Sometimes I'll nick myself, like, right there. I have one of those, I forget what brand it is, the orange ones, that have the one side that has a bunch of blades, and then the opposite side, you flip it over, and it has one blade. I think they're Harry's razors. I don't know. The one at Costco. It's not sponsored or anything. I just, it's a good razor. It's nice and sharp, and it comes with tons of them. And then I always forget that there's a little, like, hidden razor on the back. It's to do, like, little, surface things. And oh my gosh, I always cut myself on that stupid thing because I'll slice, I'll move as I'm moving. I like nick my nose or something. Oh my gosh, not fun. Tiny shaving cuts, nicks. A country bumpkin, a yokel. Cletus, the slack-jawed yokel. Some folk'll never eat a skunk, and then again, some folk'll like Cletus, the slack-jawed yokel. Adjective that can precede owl or egret. Snowy. Ooh, yeah. Snowy owl, snowy egret. Nice. All right. And then we'll play all 3 levels of pips. Easy. Hopefully does not take 37 minutes and 18 seconds like it did last time. I think that timer would have started before I hit refresh on that page. So I don't know why it would count all that time. I don't know. It was weird. All right. So 2 that are equal to each other. How about a 1 and a 1? Two. Oh no, these have to equal 5. Hold on. What if that one... Oops. Spun it too many times. And then that one. Those equal. And then this one's got to add up to 10. There we go. Easy peasy. Not 37 minutes. Okay, so something greater than 4. And then 2 that are equal. I see... This one greater than 4. That one's equal. This one's got to be greater than 6. And that one's got to be greater than 6. Cool. Okay, that was easy. I did the medium puzzle in less time than I did the easy puzzle. That's funny. I had this question yesterday. Do they each individually are greater than 6, or is it that they add up to greater than 6? And it's that they add up to greater than 6. Yeah, that's helpful. That's helpful. Okay, we need to play the hard puzzle. Okay, a 0's got to go in the corner. I only see 2 zeros. This could be 1s. This could be 4s. Let's start with the 4, see if it's right. Because then if we go... Oh, these have got to be equal to 4. Oh, you know what we could do? Is we could do this one. And then this is a 1 already. Oh, we can't do that, though. Okay, maybe it's not. Maybe we were correct at first. I don't know. We'll change it. We'll see. Because if that's a 4... These have got to be equal to each other. So I'm thinking 4, 4, 4. And then a bunch of numbers that add up. This is our only 5, so it's got to go here. Whoops. Here, I said. This has got to be all of our 6s, right? So then 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we've got 4, 8, 10. Huh. Oh, I totally abandoned this one. This one's got to equal... Ooh. Okay, so maybe we started on the wrong thing. So if we need a bunch that add up to each other... Oh, and they're all faced the wrong way, too. Oh, boy. Okay, well, hold on a sec. This one... Let's pull this one out. Hang on, pull this one out. Yeah, I know it's out of bounds. I'm trying to pull it out. Did we have a 4 and 1? There is no 4 and 1. Okay, hang on. I think we need to drain the swamp a little bit. Let's start at the bottom one. What's one that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them? So this one has a 0. Are there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? There are 5 4s. What about 1s? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's only 4. So this has got to be our 4s. And then 4. I think. Do we turn it? Maybe we turn it there. And then our 4. That this one adds up to 2, or it's got to be another 2. Maybe that. This has got to be a 5, and then 4 of them. 4 times 6 is 24, so that's got to be our next guy. Okay, 4, 5, 6. How about the other 4? What's going on there? So if this is a... Whoops. That's... Oh, we can't corner that one. That's a 0, so that's got to be here. And that also means this one's got to be our 1s. 1, 1, 1. And then this equals 13. So 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we put this one, 13. Nice. Okay. We finished the hard puzzle. You know, I'm not good with numbers. I really feel like doing these Pips puzzles have kind of expanded my brain a little bit. You know, like I'm better at thinking through things now, you know, like numerically. Because just I'm not super strong numerically. That's just the way it is with my poor brain. Yeah. Cool. Here. It's too quiet in the chat. Let's put something. I did it again. Cut that out. Make it a poll. Paste it. Easy. Medium. Or hard. There we go. Okay, now there's a poll. How about that? Oh, funny, my alarm's going off. It's like, you need to wake up. Yeah, I'm already up. Thanks for the offer. There we go. All right, well, let's review it. View results. I don't want to share my results. I want to go to my results. Here, let's look at the easy one first. Did it in 38 seconds. Yesterday we did it in 38 minutes because it like started counting as soon as earlier than I went live. I was like 15 minutes in. It was like, great job, you did it in 37 minutes. I'm like, wait, what? Oh boy. 2 that added up to 10 had to be 5 and 5. There were 2 1s, 2 2s. There it is. Easy. We did the medium in 27 seconds. They make a big deal about the timing, but I don't really care about the timing. It's not anything I need to worry about. 1 and 1 was equal. There was a greater than 6. Remember the alligator greater? Oh, that's another way to think about it. Oh my gosh. Tyson gave me a great idea. He said the arrow points to the left if it's less than. Not the gator, but the arrow. If the arrow points to the left, less left. That's how I remember it. I need goofy mnemonic devices like that in my life. I mix it up all the time. And then, let's see, greater than, greater gator. I don't know. How am I going to remember that, though? If it's eating our number, greater gator. Yeah, maybe that's how I can remember it. Greater gator or less left. Point left. Less point left. I don't know. I'll come up with some mnemonic device to remember that. And I'll draw a picture to help me remember. All right. Hard puzzle. We ended up kind of brainstorming and then just hitting clear to start over. And we needed to start with this thing in the bottom. Right? There had to be a 0 here and then 5 equal numbers. Well, there's only one of these that have 5. Right? There's only 4 1s, 4 6s, but then the 4s were over here. So then that one had to be a 4, that one had to be a 0. Or excuse me, these two had to equal 4. So it was 2 and 2. And then the weirdest one here was adding a bunch of numbers together to equal 13. And that was the 4, 6, so we had 10 together, and then another 2, and then finally the 1 to make the 12, 13. So that one was a little challenging. We did have to kind of revisit that one. Okay, in the Wordle today, let's see. What do we think? I'm trying to think of a 5-letter word. Didn't we start with like chase or something? I think we started with chase, and it gave us the A and the E. That's pretty good. How about grain? Let's see what that churns out. Oh, there's an A. Okay. But it's not in the 3rd position. Pluto? Okay, that is a word. Oh, it's no, you're kidding me. Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. 4, man, 2 words. I've already got 4 letters. So it's a P something. P, can't be PL, can't be PT, could be P something, or PA. Could be palette. No, that's not how you spell palette, though. Could be salt with a silent P. Honestly, we might be onto something there. Meshy, is meshy a word? Meshy is a word. Get out of town. Wow. 3 non-intersecting words, and I have all 5 letters. So we have a P-E. Oh, maybe pedal. I bet you it's pedal. Easy. Awesome. Cool. Cool. Pedal. Yeah, we usually get it on the 4th because of this non-intersecting word strategy I have. I use it all the time, every day. Grain, the A led to, let's see, where else? The P for Pluto gave us the L and the T and the P in the right place, lucky. And then the E, so P-E. And then I've got all 5 letters, so I mixed them around. Petal. Petal of a flower. Let's see. Strands. Go ahead, add to your 54-day streak. That's pretty cool. All right. If you've never played Strands before, think of it like a word search, right? We're trying to match all these words, trying to find words, and they're hidden in here. We don't know what they are, and they all lead back to this theme. Today's theme is up the hill. This is about Sisyphus, or over the hill, or up the hill. I definitely see the word watch there. Batch. Oh, fetch. Up the hill? What does the word fetch have to do with up the hill? Like a dog fetches a bone or a stick? But that doesn't have to happen on a hill. I'm confused. Finding that word is more confusing than not. There's a K here. Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. Yes, I know exactly what it is. Jack and Jill. Jack and Jill went up the hill. Let's see. Tumble to fetch a pail of water. Here's Jill. Jill. So this is probably a spangram then. Jack and Jill. There we go. This is Jack and Jill tumbling. Up the hill. Fetch pail of water. Broke his crown. He cracked his skull. That's what that means. Oh, of course, a pail. Pail of water. Everybody knows this one. Jack and Jill went up the hill. There's the theme. To fetch, where is it? Fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown. And Jill came tumbling after. That's funny. They're all hidden in there. That's great. Okay, we're solving these very efficiently today, aren't we? Create words using letters around the square. Seems deceivingly easy. Oh, it's another 4. Was it yesterday or the day before we had to solve in 4? There's a Y, H, and G, so no GH words because they're on the same side. L, D, I, N, R, and F, S, O, and A. Well, lucky for us, we can do ING words. I and G are all on different sides. Flaring. Oh. Wait. Ready? If that wasn't glaringly obvious, glaring. Okay, but the problem though is we've ended on a Y, and that's a scary thing to do. Could we end on another G? I bet we could. Using H, D, O, S, and F, and then we can just put an ING on the end. You know. Here, I'm gonna write that word down so that we can remember it in case we erase. Glaringly. If that wasn't glaringly obvious. How about, maybe let's try it. Like, oh, I already regret it. Fashion. I was going to say fashioning. I don't know. What letters are left? We got S, H, O, D, and F. Shod. Their feet were shod. And then that leaves us the F. Not a word. Drafting with a T on it would be. We need to use up that F somehow. I need to use that F. Here, let's back up. How about fads? And then we'll go shod. And then how about just doing? Doing can get us there, and then we will see glaringly. If I can spell it right. Glaringly. Glaringly. There we go. Okay, we did it in 4. We had to kind of reverse engineer that puzzle a little bit, but we did it. Fads to get rid of the F. And then shod. And then doing. And then glaringly. Glaringly was the first word we came up with. It was glaringly obvious. Fads, shod, doing, and glaringly. How did they solve it yesterday? Patch and humble brag? Is that a word in the dictionary? I don't know. Humble brag. We had a great word yesterday. It was premature. Premature, etcher, and relegate. Not at all what they did. Patch and humble brag. My goodness, humble brag. All right, well, good. If you like what you see so far, give it a like. Consider subscribing because we do this every day. We're going to recap our answers, and let's see how we did in the puzzles. So first puzzle we did, as always, is the connections. Common components of board games. That's the board, the cards, the dice, and the pieces. To criticize harshly is to bash, to blast, to flame, or to roast. The blue category, heteronyms. These are two words that are spelled the same but are pronounced completely different, have different meanings, right? Axes, the plural of axe, axis, or also if you're going to chop something, you use multiple axes. So they're spelled the same way but pronounced two different things and mean two different things. Bass or bass. Bass is a type of fish. Bass is a bass guitar. There's lots of different things. Coordinate, you do the same thing together. Or coordinate, speaking of axes, the y-axis and the x-axis and the y-axis. I almost said the z-axis, but that's three-dimensional. And then does, and I kept staring at does, like there's no heteronym of does. Yeah, there is. Does or does. Does. Like multiple female deer or does. And then this one was cute. The purple fill in the blank was chopsticks, drumsticks, fiddlestick. Oh, fiddlesticks. And then fish sticks. It's funny. There, we'll start at the top there. Hamilton was nominated for 16 of them in 2016. That's the Tony Awards. Vegetable, you might wear cooking goggles to cut. Onion. I don't blame you. I love eating onion. I don't love cutting it, though. Lizard that can detach its own tail. A gecko. Imagine in a Geico commercial, the gecko just like detaches its own tail and runs away. Slightly off as a picture frame. Askew. And cunning, sly, which means that the down clues gave us rap on filming 300, ? I thought it was about filming. That's a rap. No, toga. Everyone's wearing togas. It's so funny. Tip jar bills, ones. Tiny shaving cuts, nicks. Oh, I hate nicking myself when I shave. Country bumpkin is a yokel. I'm going to have that song from The Simpsons stuck in my head. Cletus, the slack-jawed yokel. Adjective that can precede owl or egret. Snowy owl, snowy egret. Now, I really love the mini crossword, and I have for months and months. I've been playing it for not quite a year, but I really have enjoyed it in my live streams. I've enjoyed it in lots of different places. But there's sort of an uprise right now, as you know. I have been part of that uprise, asking to make the mini crossword accessible to everybody again. This is not just a me thing. I would love it to be free so that more people can access it. I love and cherish crossword puzzles because of sitting at the kitchen table, the breakfast table with my grandpa, opening up the Press of Atlantic City and doing the crossword puzzle with him in pen. He taught me all his strategies. Write a little light letter in the corner if you're not sure what the answer is. There are so many just, fond memories of that. And I didn't pay a dime for that. Sure, my grandpa bought the weekly paper, the daily paper, but I just feel terrible that this new generation, who frankly needs as much like interaction with intellectual things as possible, in the era of brain rot, if I got a kid hooked on the mini crossword puzzle, because it was free and accessible to them, and they put down their brain rot even for a few seconds, for 2 minutes and 30 seconds or whatever, to play the mini crossword because it was free and accessible to them. Oh my gosh, it would make all the difference in that kid's life. to just have that sort of brain ticking rather than, hidden behind a corporate paywall. I don't know. That I just feel like that was a decision in a boardroom somewhere, in New York, right? It was the New York Times. They're saying, we got to make more money. How can we possibly make more money? I know. Let's put this cherished game behind a paywall so that only people that have a subscription already can access it. And then the people that, I would love for my kids to do this every day. Do they each have a subscription? No, they don't. They don't. And so, I feel bad for the incoming generation who are going to want to do puzzles like this. I could buy a crossword puzzle book in the dollar store or something, sure. But I think there would be something really special about like sharing that moment with them. I don't know. I just feel like we're missing out. And, I'm one to speak, right? Because I have, this gifted subscription. Here I am on my tall, high tower. But for the rising generation who, maybe it's just because I have that movie Idiocracy on my mind, but I am seeing less and less intellectual stimulation, and to put a really good, awesome, accessible little piece of intellectual stimulation behind a paywall that I think you just cut off, you what's that phrase? You cut off your feet despite your head. I don't know. Whatever. You're burning a bridge to the future generation. That's what I'm trying to say. So I don't know. I don't think that's the best route. All right, let's look at how we did Pips. Pips today was surprisingly I did the medium puzzle the fastest today. Here, I guess because this one's open, we'll start with this one first. I had to start this one and then reset it, but I think what gave it away is that 5 of these had to be all the same, and the only number that there were 5 of was the 4s. So it's 0 and 4, something and 4, 2 and 4, so this could be 2 and 2. I guess it could have been 3, but whatever. It worked this way. 2 and 1. Oh, it really could have been 2 and 1 there. I bet you we could have done it a different way. Oh, interesting. This one even has a couple different ways to solve it. Another dead giveaway was the 24. If you've got 6s, 4 6s equals 24. This is totally a math game, right? Which is smart for me because I'm not very good at math. I have already grown leaps and bounds doing the Pips. For example, when Tyson taught me that the left is less than, right? Less than to the left. The arrow, not the alligator, but the arrow points to the left for less than. That right there, even just that helps my poor dyslexic brain. Okay, this is the one we did in the shortest amount of time, which honestly was kind of an easy puzzle too. 2 that are equal to each other. There's 4s or there's 1s. And then knowing the one on the right had to be greater than 6. Remember, the alligator eats our number. Gator, greater. Listen, to a poor dyslexic mind like mine, literally for decades, I have never been able to tell you which is which. Greater than or less than. And then for literally 4 days ago, whatever it was, when Tyson was just like, oh yeah, less than to the left. And I went, light bulb. It was one of those mnemonic devices that I needed. I have them all over the place. I mean, dyslexia kicks in real hard with me. Sorry. Let's see. Greater than 6, we got a 5 and a 2. And then that one had to be greater than 4. So it worked out. And that one we actually did in a shorter amount of time. I have not earned a cookie, though. I haven't seen a cookie. Are you supposed to get a cookie after, 20 seconds? Or I don't know. What's the cutoff there? What's the cutoff? There, we'll go easy. Still haven't gotten a cookie. I don't know. Didn't the instructions say that you would earn a cookie or something? Here, let's go to it. How to play. No, I know how to play. I remember seeing something that was a little more complex that said something about cookies. I don't know. And the little 3 dots button is not working right now, so whatever. Yeah, 5 and 5 is 10. And then 2 that are equal. I've got the 2 connected to the 5, and then 1s that are on the other side. So Pips was fun. Whoops. Pips was cool. I try not to start with the same word one after the other. You know, last time we tried chase, and I don't know, maybe I have it stuck in my head. It wouldn't have helped all that. Well, it would have helped because the E at the end. But I tried grain, which gave us the A. Pluto, which lucky gave us the P. And an L and a T. P in the correct place, though. And then E for meshy. Interesting, meshy. But those are 3 non-intersecting words. And P-E something something something's got to be pedal. That is what it is. All right, and then the Strands puzzle today was the old classic nursery rhyme, Jack and Jill. They patched him up with vinegar and brown paper in the second verse, which is essentially just a vinegar compress. Yeah, we usually only know the first verse, but there's a whole story behind it, involving kind of natural remedies even. Right, you patch him up with vinegar and brown paper. Jack and Jill went up the hill. There's the theme, to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling. I love that tumbling is like falling down the hill, tumbling after. Very clever. And then, let's see, fads. It's in the letterbox today. We kind of reverse engineered this one. I started with the word glaringly, and then I was like, man, but if we end on a Y, then I can't really do much after that. So I did fads. And then the S led to shod, past tense of shed. Is that the past tense of shed? I think. Like the biblical, I keep thinking of the Bible every time I hear the word shod. And then doing led to the G for glaringly. All that work just for the Y. No, it was more than that. It was the R. There's a couple letters in there. I needed L, some others. Cool. Awesome. Well, good stuff. Yeah, this is something we do every day. So if you like what you see, give this video a like, and then consider subscribing because we do this every day. You know what I should do? I should put the playlist of all of these videos in the description so that you can click on it and watch previous days even. It's just fun to watch these, just to play the games, have a little chat, and, just have fun together. So thanks for an awesome stream. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy kind of the middle day of our Labor Day weekend. Hopefully you don't have to go to work tomorrow. It sort of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? I was at the supermarket yesterday, and I asked the guy, I was like, he's like one of the managers, and I was like, oh, please tell me you don't have to work tomorrow or on Monday. And he said, yeah, sadly, I had a bunch of days off last week so that I could do this week. And I went, that's not how Labor Day works. Like, you should just not be laboring. You don't, have a pre-Labor Day so that you don't have to labor later. It's funny. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Thanks for a great stream. Thanks for a fun chat. Like and subscribe if you like this video, and I will catch you on the next one. See ya.